pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, Scott, we have an addition to the agenda. Scott, do you want to introduce?
Through the chair, I'd like to introduce our interim director for the Parks Department, Peggy Jensen. And I would also like to introduce our assistant director, Nicholas Calderon. Welcome.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm skipping. Thanks for keeping me.
Okay. Commissioner Bonilla,
Present.
Commissioner Manna,
Present.
Commissioner Enriquez,
Here.
Commissioner Mariles,
Here.
and Youth Commissioner Bott.
Here.
Thank you. I understand that Commissioner Okello is not going to be joining us today, so,
Correct.
okay.
Okay, now do we have any public comment?
No cards.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and go on to approval of the minutes, 4.1. Have a motion?
I move that we accept the minutes.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right. Motion passes. 4.2 is postponed to August 2nd, so we won't be talking about the Flood Park EIR. The next thing we'll go to is the Parks Foundation Executive Director Report.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Chair and Commissioners, or Chair Bonilla and Commissioners. My name is Michelle Beasley with the San Mateo County Parks Foundation, and thank you for this opportunity to speak. I left something at each of your seats. Two things: our most recent newsletter, and also save the date for our 20th anniversary. The Parks Foundation turns 20 this year, and we're going to be celebrating on Sunday, September 9th at Huddart Park. And we're going to be celebrating the people who helped launch the foundation. And specifically, we're going to be honoring Linda Liebes and Linda Weaver, who were pretty instrumental in getting the Parks Foundation launched. So I hope all of you can attend, and we'll be sending out more information later this summer. And our guest speaker at that event is actually going to be Doug McConnell of Bay Area Backroads and Open Road fame. And on Open Road, we were one of the underwriters for season 4 of Open Road with Doug McConnell. And that meant we were able to pitch and produce a segment on San Bruno Mountain. And we had 3 excellent speakers showcase the mountain with Doug McConnell, Ramona Arechiga from Natural Resources. We had Ariel Trabowski from San Bruno Mountain Watch, and also Doug Alshouse, who is a longtime passionate advocate of the mountain. So the original air date was April 8th, but it's going to air again this month on June 17th. So that's going to be Sunday on NBC Bay Area, 6:30 p.m., June 17th. And it's up on the Parks Foundation's website and also on the Parks Department's website if you want to check it out. Next week, the Parks Foundation Board is meeting, and we're going to be voting on our summer gift to county parks, and included in that is $15,000 for Bicycle Sunday. We're underwriting that again for the next fiscal year. We also have $25,000 for Alembeek Trail at Wonderlick Park, which I think completes that process. And then we have the final $10,000 to complete trail signs in all the county parks. We're also going to be discussing beefing up our support for Friends of Edgewood. They have a grasslands management strategy that we heard a little bit about, and so we'll be voting on that next week also. We continue to promote our field trips program, so pass the word out to all of you. We have a couple field trips in the works right now. 2 field trips with Pescadero Elementary to Memorial Park and Huddart, scheduled for the end of this month. We're also working with Hoover Community School in Redwood City on a field trip to Huddart Park, and then Bellhaven and Redwood City. They have a summer worth of field trips to the parks, and we're going to figure out how we can support them. And our popular Coyote Nights is coming back this summer also. So that was our partnership with REI. We did an evening summer social at Coyote Point as a way to kind of invite people to hang out in a different way in the park. And REI sets up their outdoor lounge with tables and chairs, and we have hammocks and so forth, and we have trailheads where you can learn a little bit more information. And that's a way to kind of introduce ourselves to new people. And we have different themes for each night. So for example, August 2nd is Arts in the Park, and we'll have Rangers Wright and Finnegan doing some art activities with families. And then finally, we're fundraising for the final elements of Sanchez Adobe. And we're going to be holding a thank you hike for our donors at the Adobe with a tour from the History Museum on July 28th. And then the final thing I wanted to say is I wanted to thank Chair Bonilla and Commissioner Manna for coming and meeting with me a couple weeks ago to talk about ways that the Parks Commission and the Foundation can work together more in the coming years. So I'm hopeful that one or both of you will be at our board meeting next Thursday. Awesome. And that will continue going forward. So thank you, and I'm available if you have any questions.
Thank you, Michelle. Does anyone have any questions?
Do we have a time, exact time on the anniversary? Is it an all day afternoon or once a?
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the superintendent report. Scott?
Sure. At this time, through the chair and to the board, I would like to just speak about some high-level things in my report, some great things that have been going on in parks. And after I'm done with the report, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer anything you have. Starting out with, in the first part of the report, talked about our administrative team getting out in the field and making a lot of field trips to our different districts to help team building and to understand operations best, to help our staff in the field, reservation systems, etc., at Memorial Park. And also they're having a great time getting out there in the park. They get out of the office. It's good for anybody. Enjoy those parks. Rolando, thank you for doing that. I see the staff is enjoying those trips very much, and it's getting very good input back to make us refine our job that we're doing with reservation systems and just communication with the office working well. We have in there also Tanitas Creek Citizens Advisory Committee, and I'm hoping that Dan Olstein, a little bit later in the commission, if he makes it, he could speak to this. And if he doesn't make it in time, then if you have any questions about this, I can have Carla come up and speak to it. So just kind of going through the districts right now in Coyote Point, due to the great weather that we have, we had some great events. You know, Easter Sunday was absolutely to capacity, over 1,000 cars in there. There wasn't many sites open. Curiosity had 200 to 250 volunteers on Earth Day for a cleanup at Coyote Point. Spectacular, great effort. The Divas had their big event, the run at Coyote Point. Habitat for Humanity had a 5K run, and Mother's Day had a 5K food festival, which was very impressive. A lot of people. I think it was over 1,700 showed up for that. Huge event. So we're making people happy. The parks are packed. They're enjoying the weather. Going into District 2, we did kick off our Take-A-Hike at Edgewood Park with ranger staff. It's such a positive event, these Take-A-Hikes. They're packed to capacity. We had to go to a sign-up system just so we didn't have too many people that we couldn't accommodate and do it in a safe manner, but we're averaging about 75 to 100 every time we have a Take-A-Hike. Great turnout. It's good stuff. We're also working on trail runs. Campground is open at Huddard Park now. And we've been doing a Allenbeek Trail reroute, which the foundation has helped raise money through many different funders. We've been working on that for about 4 weeks. And on the next commission meeting, we'll have some great photos of the trail opening and the reroute that we did for this. We saved a lot of money too. We figured it was going to be about a $200,000 project, and we're coming in at about probably 50. So very good. Good job from staff. District 3, we've been working outstandingly to get the Memorial Park up and running. Camping season, doors been wide open. It has been absolutely packed to capacity every weekend. People are enjoying it. We're having a lot of good fun out there. And I give credit to the staff. They've been running out there. Trail Center's been out there also, another organization that's been helping us. I want to take this time to also thank all the volunteer groups, friends groups, Trail Center, everybody that's been getting out in the park system, that have been giving assistance to the park staff. They make it a very enjoyable experience, and they're getting some good ownership of what we're doing out there. It's good to see. Let's see. Also, we've had a lot of interpretive programs. You'll see in the report, Catherine and Laurel have been working very hard. Junior Ranger program, Summer Learning Expo, night hikes for school groups. We had a educational session at FMR about the pupping seasons. Went over very well. It's a good opportunity to speak to young kids about, nature and how that marine environment survives out there and the do's and don'ts. It was very good. Take a hike, like I said, for Edgewood was really good. I believe the last one we just had was Sam McDonald, which went over really big too. It was 75 to 100 people showed up for that hike too. Great hike, 5-mile hike. Our NRM is doing some great research right now. They've been working with the Mission Blue Butterfly on San Bruno Mountain, collecting data, and they're also looking at transplanting in GGNRA property, which is kind of unique, and we look for a full report when that comes through. So that's kind of on a high level, just speaking about some of the great things that are going on in parks. We're really busy. Like I said, the weather is fantastic, and people are enjoying it. So if you have any questions, I'll gladly answer them for you.
Anyone have any questions for Scott?
I had a question. You had a dog attack,
Yeah.
and a dog killed the seal at the Fitzgerald Marine Reserve, I guess around Ross's Cove. And whatever happened with that?
It was a very unfortunate incident that a person had a dog down there off leash in a restricted area, and the dog did go out on the reef, and it actually did kill a seal, and that was taken over by U.S. Fish and Wildlife and NOAA. Were the ones citing, and that's sitting in the DA right now, and I don't have any further information on that, but action was taken quickly. It's just sad that that happened.
Yeah, I heard you guys were on it really fast.
Yeah, as fast as you can. It's, one of those things. We are making a lot more contacts about dogs right now. We're trying to do a social media website, but we're finding that just personal contacts and education, we've had to really step it up. We're seeing dogs in almost all of our parks now, and it's something that it's an education thing that we're working on, and that was a truly unfortunate incident that happened out there.
Thanks for your report, and I know it's refreshing to hear park awareness, families, our weather has been impeccable. Coyote Nights is something that we want to, we want to see many people in attendance. How many, give or take, vehicles, families, because it's July, because it's summer vacation for many, how many people can we expect for that evening?
Oh, coming into Coyote Point?
Yes.
I think the maximum capacity is about 1,000 cars we can take in there. But when we start to push the numbers in 2,000 in there, that's getting pretty
Pushing
much.
it.
Well, it's not pushing it. You always have to look at what's manageable in a safe manner in case incidents occur. So we always try to gauge that the best we can. So that's pretty. We take a pretty big, sizable group in at Coyote Point. And if we know they're coming in force, then we'll move staff over there to take care of it too.
I think as a commissioner on this board, I definitely look forward to being in attendance for Coyote Nights.
Great, fantastic.
Let me give you some background on, you mentioned about the Tikim Festival that was held on May 13. The idea that's supposed to be, when the former director revised that we have a one-to-one meeting before we start becoming director, told me that it cannot be done because you have to have a non-profit organization to handle that kind of thing, and nobody from the staff or nobody from the Parks Department will help to assist you or something on that. That's wrong. That's the reason why when you mention about almost 1,700 show up, the King Festival is a collaboration of the non-profit organization by the Filipino American and the Filipino channel. They raised maybe around almost how many thousand people together on that. And until now, because major channel, Channel 7 was there. And the two, three adverse channel, the Filipino channel, the Spanish channel there was there during the time. So maybe the future director will give us some background of the community events are very, very, to me, have to be not to be forgotten because some of those people that they want to go to the park, they want to see a community event. When I was disappointed when director, uh, the, the last director that we have mentioned to me that we cannot help. And you know who helped us also? The name that instead of the Philippines channel, San Mateo County Children's Service is also get some support on that.
Yes, they were involved, and I know
That's
the-
right.
I-
That's
I
the
know-
reason why I cannot understand the way, you know, and Lori told me that Mr. Director wants me to know who is the one who's getting that sponsor. And I mentioned to you that I cannot see the name, but when I found out, I called the people there. Until now, to be honest with you guys, every month or every 2 weeks, they show in the TV the Coyote Point, the 5K, and the diverse community, the Spanish, the Filipino, Indian, all of those have been vendors all over the area. And for your information, when we gathered some information on that Coyote Point before they gathered the people to invite, uh, why is that YK Kang is the
Tai Kang, the ranger
yeah,
for
the
Coyote
ranger
Point. Yes.
supervisor, and then the two Mario and the other rangers there.
Kevin, yes.
Yeah, they told me one to one that the whole Coyote Point can accommodate around almost 6,000 to 7,000 people, and at least around 1,000 parking. So we have enough people that we can gather because I might put people there at least around 2,000, 2,000. And you're right because when you mention about 1,700, and I think it's more than that.
Yes, and when I spoke earlier about the capacity, we look at ratio of staff to people that are within the park, and that's why we try to keep the numbers where they're
And that's the
manageable.
reason why, Mr. Scott, that's the reason why, you know, maybe the future director of this park have to be aware that the community has to be involved. And that's one way to advertise not only the whole Coyote Point, but the whole county park. Thank you.
As far as I know, Commissioner, the Parks Department did everything they could to accommodate that event.
Yeah, but not to support. Because when the old director told me that they cannot support that, you know, but there's another, you know,
Can I just have a point of clarification? Are you speaking to this event directly? You felt like Parks wasn't supportive of it, or are you talking about future events?
when we have a meeting before, I think two ladies from the Department of the Park here attended, and right in front of my told me that they cannot support me because
Wait, for
they have
this
to do it
event,
on
that
their own.
specific event?
Oh, that's an intent right now,
Yeah.
Chairman.
Okay, so maybe just we can talk about that
Oh,
offline. Yeah.
Maybe
perfect.
that's the reason why, you know, when he mentioned about the success of that event, that's the key. That's the event that I told them before.
Yeah. Okay, any further questions? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to go to commissioners' reports. I'll start off with, we did meet with Michelle. We had a lovely meeting. And for our next meeting, Commissioner Sam and I will be putting our recommendation on the agenda for the board or for the commission to review. So that's my report. Neil, do you have a report?
Yeah, I worked with a neighbor group that was that had some problems with Fitzgerald Marine Reserve, and the harbor commissioner actually called me and told me that there was this group, and so I contacted them, and I think, you know, everything will be okay. I don't think it's any big deal, but I have been getting a bunch of calls from neighborhood groups and from the Mid-Coast Council, wondering what to do and who to contact, because we're in between, or we were in between parks directors there, and they're not frustrated yet, but beginning to get frustrated that they have contacted people and made connections and talked about things, and now they have to start again. And all I wanted to say about that is that it would be a good time for all of us commissioners to perhaps step in a little bit in terms of institutional knowledge of how the Parks Department has been run for the last few years. We've been here through a couple of parks directors now, and if park staff wants us to get involved in issues that are happening in our districts, I would welcome that, and I would offer to help anyone. I'll offer to help Peggy. You know, if you want information on the dog issues that we've been working on, which was started by Marlene, taken over by Sarah, worked on by Jonathan, and but the people on that committee are still around and can carry that knowledge through. And so if there's any help you want with meetings or carrying things forward through our transition period, I certainly am available, and I hope my fellow commissioners will be available too for carrying on those duties and kind of pitching in a little bit extra. That's what I would. And the other thing I just wanted to mention is that there's becoming a issue Bay Area wide, but there's a terrible housing issue that we have in the Bay Area, and we're seeing it on the coast side. We're seeing RVs that are parked in certain areas, and then they get moved, and they get moved to other areas, and you can kind of see them where they are, and it's kind of sad. One of the complaints that the Fitzgerald Marine Reserve group had, or people that live in that area had, was that people are coming into the parking lot at night and parking and then leaving. And of course, it's not the parks issue because the parks staff is gone. It's a sheriff's issue, but we have an incredible problem with homelessness, and I don't want to offer any suggestions to solve that because it's a big issue, and you know, people have been working on it forever. But if there's something that the parks could do, if we could think creatively, it's just sad to see, and it doesn't help to just kick everybody out of where they are and then they go down the street like playing whack-a-mole. But if there was a parking lot, you know, away from neighborhoods, or I don't know. Anyway, I just thought for an item on a future agenda, and just for something for all of us to think about it. It seems like it's getting worse. And if there's something that we can do to kind of brainstorm and help, then I think that would be worth talking about in the future. So those were my reports.
Thank you, Commissioner Marlise. Sam?
If I can just slightly echo what Commissioner Marlise, even though I did not serve in detail with collectively what he discussed, when we attend parks, whether it's individuals or as families or taking elder parents or taking our loved ones to parks, we want to feel safe. And in visiting a lot of parks, whether it's down to San Francisco and down on the coast here and within the peninsula, we are seeing a higher rise of homelessness and folks that are just sort of hovering around the parks. And we know there's public and mental health issues that maybe we can find ways to where some of these families and children don't feel any discomfort. And not to say that these individuals that are hovering or sleeping or staying in the parks are causing any havoc, but we just want some certainty to maybe have shelter for them away from the parks, and that knowing when you're entering, you know, a location like Edgewood or any of the, you know, county parks, that you do feel safe without being hassled or anything like that. So we definitely want to see something to where anyone that's coming in.
I just want to clarify. Do we have a homeless problem? I've seen the RVs. I understand that, but do we have a homeless problem in the county parks?
We have been moving some sites recently, San Bruno Mountain, JSP, and we've had some RVs and stuff moving in and out of Memorial and Coyote Point, but we're managing it. But we are also following all protocols with the county to find these people services. We're very understanding of their situation, and we try to provide the best assistance possible before any movement is made. Even with the San Bruno one, I think they had over a couple weeks and 3 or 4 visits from the county officials to try to help them out to get them moved. So we are passionate to that.
Thank you, Scott. Do you have anything else?
No, just
Commissioner Enriquez, do you have a report?
Is that the commission's report now? Yes. I thought you still have the,
we're. I have a commissioner's report also, but I can wait.
oh, okay.
Do you have anything to report?
Well, the report that I have is supposed to be the policy that's supposed to be for the land acquisition.
If we
included
didn't
in
put
the
it,
agenda
we
as a
didn't put
sep-
that on the agenda, so we'll put it on in August and you can report out on it. But you can mention it right now.
Well, I think you can mention that today. Anyhow, thank you, Chairman. First of all, it's not on the agenda, but I can, because I prepared already. You told me that to prepare this today. So I can read that now, so I can give you some background of what we have.
Sure,
you
why
want-
don't you just go over it briefly? What I said was if you wanted it in, we had to get it in early,
We can
but
do
the-
it now, or maybe we can skip this and then,
yeah, we could do it on the next one when it's agendized.
gosh.
Perfect.
okay.
Thank you. Anything else besides that?
Well, I would like to elaborate also on that maybe future director. And to me, this just only just for us to understand briefly the way I think if we can pick up a future director of the parks. The reason is that somebody has to have a person that really loves not only the park but only the community itself. Because to me, even you hire professional or whatever, I think what we need right now is the people-oriented people that that the director can be served, that they know actually the community as not only for professional that we know, experience things like that, and I believe that if we hire a new director, number one, maybe some people within the park itself, within our area, maybe within that already working on the park.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the process, do we have a time frame for hiring of a new director? So I'm sure Peggy will let us know right now. Yes.
Thank you. What we need right now to us and to me, we need something that within the rank. This is just only my own, because they know already the people that they serve, they know already the community, most especially the San Mateo County in particular. And I think for future, whoever the one, has to have knowledge of the park here in San Mateo County that they serve with their experience for so many years. I think they can be part of to become a future director of San Mateo County Parks. Thank you.
So through the president, or the chair of the commission, I'm been appointed interim director of the parks. I will be serving in this period of time, working with the parks probably for 6 to 9 months or so to kind of reestablish things, get things organized, and put us on a track that we hope to be going forward with. And at that point, when the time is ready, and I will certainly report to the commission on that, we will be going out for a search for a new director. Part of that search process will include interviews with all of you as commissioners to make sure that we're incorporating the kinds of things that you feel are important qualities for the next director in that search.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the clarification. Are you done, Commissioner?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Perfect, thank you.
How about
Commissioner, Bott, do you have,
On May 19th, we had a hike at Wonderlick Park So we had students from different schools come and attend our hike, and our goal was to encourage youth to come out and enjoy the county parks and as a stress reliever. And this was actually during the time that finals were, so it was timed perfectly. And we worked with the health system with Myra Diaz and Gloria Gonzalez to organize this event. And our docents were from Friends of Wonderlick and Huddart Park. Um, and so that was our main event for this year. For next year, I have been voted as chair of the commission. So that'll be good. And also for the Environmental Justice Committee, I was hoping to work with the Parks Commission more so next year to establish sort of a junior ranger program in each park so that not just high schoolers but also younger students could come and enjoy the county parks. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. How many did you have to go to the Take a Hike program? How many?
We had about 30 people.
Wow,
Yeah.
good job. Really good job. Well, congratulations again. Okay, do we have items for future agendas? I would like to add the work plan reports to that. Does anyone else have any future items?
I actually had a chair report.
About the work plan?
No, it was part of the agenda of the, it was Commissioner Okello and myself, but he couldn't be here, so I wanted to present.
But that was part of the work plan, so it would go on next month when we agendize it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else have any future items?
Deputy Chair, let me give you some background on that future agenda. Is that you mean the future agenda aside from the agenda that we skip for next August?
Yes, so Flood Park will already be on there, so it's already on the agenda, but do you have any other items?
So the other items that, the one that we skipped before, the one that we
The work plan?
postponed, not the work plan, the one for the Flood Park.
Flood Park.
Yeah.
EIR.
Let me give you.
So we
I
skipped
received a call. I received 2 calls from the.
So I think with that we need to,
Yeah, I know,
because
that's the
it's not
reason
on the
why-
agenda, so we should not talk about that right now, correct?
Well,
That we're tabling that item until
Yeah.
the next meeting.
So we should probably, and if you have any information, you could talk to the
it's,
staff.
on item 8 here, it says item for future agenda. I will tell you right now that before we put this on the next agenda, let me give you some background so you know, or maybe the park staff can understand what's going on. Because I received a call from community regarding the Pratt Park.
A community member.
Right, and then I don't want to mention the name, but in fact, when I was in the office, my office told me that somebody, a lady, called, and then regarding Pratt Park. So I wasn't aware. When I call the park, I don't even know what's going on. So, and luckily, I received a call. I called them, told me that he's a member of the committee of that Pratt Park. He mentioned about. I told him that we can go to agenda. Maybe I mentioned the old paper that I received. The agenda is included there, with the environmental impact report. And I don't want to mention about her. So I told that you can come here and attend the meeting here today.
So I would suggest you tell them to come to the August meeting.
Yeah, but now that I know that it will be postponed, maybe I can call them again and then that. But that's not the main issue right now. The main issue right now, the issue pertaining the problem of that Pratt Park. So whether or not, how come that maybe I told her that how come that you call the commission because they are not aware what's going to issue the problem there. So I was shocked. So that's the reason why now that the time that we have a meeting today, that I told you that it will be postponed, the EIR, and will be gone on August. So now, this item 8 for future agenda, if that is already included on the next agenda, fine. But we know what will be the problem. So that's the reason why I'm telling you as chairman, is there any that you know that there's a problem on the Pratt Park?
There, So I think what you're saying is that there's a community member that has an issue with Flood Park.
Yes.
Yes, and I believe that the county park staff are aware of the issue.
Is that the issue, the AIR, or any other issue that pertains to the problem, the Park Park? That's the reason why
I
I want to
believe
know.
that's for the agenda for August.
Correct. That's the reason why we want to know whether that's part of the agenda for
Right.
next month.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that, okay, perfect.
Barbara?
Yeah.
I was contacted by the Friends of Fitzgerald Marine Reserve, and they would like to do a 10-minute informational presentation coming up.
I think we could put it for a future agenda, but probably it would go, wouldn't go August, I would think October, because I would think flood is gonna be a big agenda.
Yeah, you know, yes, but it could have been on this agenda, and then flood got postponed, and then we would have been able to do it.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, unfortunately, that's the way it happened, but I
it's
think
only 10 minutes if,
I will leave that to Peggy and
okay.
county staff to see if they think they could fit it in
Okay.
August. We just have the 2 hours, and so, I mean, I don't know. We can't go over. We get kicked out. So just that. So, I mean, I'll leave it. I don't mind if they think we could fit it, but, Carla, go ahead.
Thank you, Neil, for raising that. We had asked them to wait until the August meeting. And given the fact that the Flood Park had been moved to August as well, but the Friends of Fitzgerald assured us it is a 10-minute presentation, which we typically allow groups to come in and make brief presentations. And it's just to update the commission about, what the Friends are doing. And we really promised them that they would get that 10 minutes in August. And I personally, this is not my position to call it, but I think we owe them the 10 minutes for August.
Okay, your staff.
well, and,
It'll work.
and also, the people around the community are a little on edge right now because they feel that we're kind of in between, and they want to make sure that they still have access, and we haven't gone away, and we haven't forgotten about them. So yeah, when I get calls like that, I want to try and reassure people that no, it's business as usual, and you can come and you can speak. So yeah, I'm very sensitive right now because I've been getting all these calls. So, yeah, thank you.
Sure.
the chair
Thank Carla
also-
and the staff. That's fine. Any other agenda items?
Well, not only the agenda, in addition to what Commissioner realized, because we are not aware that there's either a problem or not problem with the concerned citizen, especially to the maybe Flood Park or any other parks here in San Mateo County. When they call, like, for example, this is a real things that I'm happening right now for the past few months to me in my office. They keep calling in my office. And I told them that, what's the problem? Well, the issue of example, the Flood Park. So is it possible, Chair, to talk to the park staff, whoever the one in charge that they have to brief us what's going on, any issues that pertains as far, any problem in the parks that pertains as far the issues that they have. So we don't even know what's going on. And she mentioned about meetings maybe last year or something that they already, and then they told me that you are not part of that meeting because the meeting was attended by few of the staff. And what my concern right now to the chair is to be able, before we even receive any calls like that we have to be aware, that to be updated of what's going on. And that's the reason I think the chair is responsible to get some information from the park staff before it happened.
So I'll let Peggy go ahead. I had an answer for that, but go ahead, Peggy.
Thank you, Commissioner. As you know, Commissioners, I've asked the Executive Secretary to contact each of you to set up a meeting with me. I want to listen to the concerns that you have, hear any issues that you might have, suggestions that you might have, like what you're suggesting, Mr. Enriquez. And my hope will be to work with the staff to provide solutions to those concerns. At this point, I'm still learning what's going on in parks, but what I want to assure you is that I have a long history with the county park system. My master's degree is in environmental planning. I ran the budgeting process for the state park system for the state of Massachusetts. When I came to San Mateo County, I was the budget analyst for the park system, and I was the county manager's liaison with the parks when Dave Holland was director and also when Marlene Finley was director. So I have a long history with parks from a county perspective, but I also visited the parks significantly. I grew up as a Girl Scout in San Mateo County, going to Coyote Point. I took my daughter's Girl Scout troops to Hunnard Park, and I hike frequently in Edgewood Park and along Crystal Springs Trail, Sawyer Camp Trail now. So I'm very committed to the park system, and I was honored and very pleased to be asked by the county manager to step in as interim director. So I want to assure you that my desire is to meet with you, hear what your concerns are, and to work with our park staff to provide the best system we can for the county.
Perfect. Thank you, Peggy. Okay. Oh, I believe we have a public comment now that we're going to take.
Hi, good afternoon. Dan Olstein, Director of Land Programs and Stewardship at Peninsula Open Space Trust. And I was just coming to speak, just to basically be here and present. Sorry, have you given your presentation already? Or? Oh, great. Great. Sorry, just coming in from the field. And so I just wanted to come and, as a representative of the Peninsula Open Space Trust, been here before with both the supervisors and the Planning Commission talking about our partnership with county parks at Chinitas Creek Beach, where we have worked to protect that resource for the citizens of the county, and now are coordinating really closely with county parks as well as other county staff on the next steps of working towards developing safe and sustainable access at Chinitas Creek Beach over the next couple of years. An important step in that is getting input from the community to make sure that we are incorporating feedback and interests, not just of the local community out on the coast side who have known about and loved this beach for a long time as a local asset, but also really for all the citizens of San Mateo County. So we've been working closely with Sam and Carla and the rest of the staff at County Parks on this idea of what we're calling a Citizens Advisory Committee to begin to, as we're working on the planning of the development of the park, and the county is starting to at first secure the site and be able to manage Scott and his team the site out there and the ongoing uses right now, also begin to solicit the input from interested public citizens and members of the community on how we move forward in developing the public access at this site. So I'm happy to answer any questions. We're really excited about this partnership with the county and moving forward out there. And yeah, be happy to take any questions you have.
Well, I'd just like to thank you for your partnership with County Parks.
Great, thank you. Great, thank you.
We have no further questions. Thank you so much. Okay, with that, I'm going to move that the commission adjourn the meeting in recognition of Nurit Erickson's dedication to her role of County Park Council for more than 5 years. And just know we're going to miss you and wish you all the best. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second by Enriquez. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, everyone. The meeting adjourned at, looks like 4:46.
Good job.
Just whenever.